This is you. This is an organ system. This is an organ. This is a muscle. This is a tissue. This is a cell. And this is your cells explained. Now, first of all, cells are the basis of every organism. Whether it's a tree, your body, or an amoeba, cells make up all of them. Atoms make up all the non-living things, like an airplane, however. Now, first of all, a prokaryotic cell is born in the process of mitosis, but a eukaryotic cell is born in the process of binary fission. These two topics will be explained in another video coming soon. Click here to see that video, if it's up now. Okay, now, if you stayed, most likely you want to learn more about cells. Cells are cells, but like us humans, cells have organs too. They are called organelles, or little organs. This video will be divided into two parts, the eukaryotic part and the prokaryotic part. Now, first of all, the prokaryotes are your single-celled organisms. These are broken up into two domains, archaeobacteria and bacteria. Archaeobacteria are the bacteria that have evolved millions of years ago. They normally live in extreme conditions like sulfur pools and geysers in Yellowstone Park. They have the same organelles as the bacteria. First of all, there are 8 main organelles in a prokaryotic cell. In alphabetical order, they are the capsule, the cell membrane, the cell wall, the cytoplasm, the flagellum, the nucleoid, the pili, and the ribosomes. The capsule protects the cell from harm and damage. It's the outermost layer of the cell. Next, the cell membrane controls what can go in and outside of the cell. It's also one of the outer layers, which helps the contents of the cell stay inside. The cell wall is a protector and a backbone to the cell. The cytoplasm is what all of the organelles are suspended in, for lack of a better term. It also makes sure that the cell doesn't shrink. The flagellum helps the cell move around. The nucleoid holds the DNA. It's less of a holder of the DNA and is more like a big blob of DNA in the middle of the cell. It's the middle part of the cell. The next organelle is the pili. They help the cell stick to other surfaces. Finally, the ribosomes make proteins for the cell. These cells have the same organelles as the archaeobacteria. A bacteria can invade you by going into one of our cells and hijacking into the DNA. That tricks the cell into making more copies of it. That's the prokaryotic cells. Now, prokaryotic cells don't have a nucleus. I'll tell you guys what a nucleus is later. Now, eukaryotic cells are a bit different. Now we have 4 domains, the plant, animal, fungi, and protists. Now, the protists are different and won't be covered in this video. For the other 3 domains, they're similar. There are a few differences between the animal, plant, and fungus cells. First of all of these cells share a common set of organelles. The DNA or the chromosomes, the cytoplasm, the Golgi complex, the mitochondria, the vacuole, the endoplasmic reticulum, the ribosomes, the nucleus, the cell membrane, the cytoskeleton, the vesicle, and the nucleolus. First of all, DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is in every cell and is the set of instructions for the cell. It codes on how the cell should replicate also. The cytoplasm serves some similar purposes to prokaryotic cells. However, now it only suspends the organelles. The Golgi complex packages molecules into vesicles to be sent out of the cell. The mitochondrion is the power plant of the cell. It makes ATP, which is a kind of energy that's later used to fuel everything in the cell. The vacuole acts as a storage plant for the cell. It stores food and water to be used in the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum is a way to get proteins to other parts of the cell. Ribosomes lie in different parts of the cell. Some are suspended in the cytoplasm, and others are on the endoplasmic reticulum. Not all of the ER, not the emergency room, the endoplasmic reticulum, has these ribosomes. When it has the ribosomes, the ER is called rough ER. When the ER doesn't have ribosomes, it's called smooth ER. The job of the ribosomes is to make proteins for the cell. The cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane that determines what goes in and out of the cell. Also, in animal cells, it holds the cytoplasm and all of the organelles in the cell, as it is the outermost layer. The cytoskeleton does the second job of the cytoplasm. It helps the cell keep shape. A vesicle is a delivery system. It's a way to send particles outside of the cell. It also takes in any particles ingested by the cell in the process of endocytosis. The nucleus is arguably the most important part of the cell. It controls everything that goes in and out of the cell. It also controls the DNA. It's like the brain of the cell. Finally, the nucleolus is an organelle inside of the nucleus that makes ribosomes. Now, that's all the similarities finished. Now we can move on to the differences. In an animal cell, there's an organelle that's called the lysosome. What this organelle does is dispose of the dead or non-functioning organelles by picking them up. They act similar to a vesicle. They bring them out of the cell using exocytosis. Also, the vacuole in the animal cell is actually many small vacuoles. Now, in the plant and fungus cells, they have a cell wall. What that is a stiff structure outside the cell membrane that allows the plant or fungus to stand without needing to have a backbone. Also, only plants have a special organelle called the chloroplast. It's a green organelle because of the amount of chlorophyll in it, and it is the photosynthesis part of the cell. It does a very similar job and has a very similar structure to a mitochondrion. It uses the sun instead of protein, Also, both plant and fungus cells have, instead of many small vacuoles, have one large central vacuole, or the LCV. Also, plant cells are square. Now, as mentioned at the top of this video, cells don't just make up you on your own. They need teams of cells. Cells can make up tissues. The tissues make up muscles. They make up organs, who make up organ systems like your digestive system, who finally make up you. For the last segment of this video, I'll be covering some cell functions. The cell functions I've talked about today are endo and exocytosis. Endocytosis is a way to get a particle inside of the cell, where exocytosis is a way to get a particle outside of the cell. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time. Sorry for not uploading a video for a while. I've actually been in camp, and then I got sick, and then I just didn't really feel like it. So, that's about it, and see you guys next time.